Hey, what's up, cousins? Welcome back in, and hopefully future cousins as you come in. If you haven't subscribed, my name is Tommy. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank y'all for being here, and happy Monday to you. So the weekend is over. The weekend is over, and we have these 5 days that I'm going to be bringing you news that you can use. And only on the weekends will I bring you news you can use if it's breaking news. So that's the new thing that I've decided to do for myself to, relax my mind from all the stuff that's been going on in the world. Welcome in. I see you coming in. Thank you. Hey, Betty. So, what's happening right now has the potential of coming over here if it's not already here. I have not seen it. I looked. Doesn't mean it's not here, but it does have the potential of coming here. I'm also going to give you an update on what's going on with the sea, and if it's on the rise or not for this summer. Hey, Raymond, Betty, Jessica, Edward, Roger, welcome into the channel. As y'all enter, please hit the like button. It does help support the channel and push it out to more people. So I had a relaxing weekend. How was y'all weekend? Well, it was a hectic weekend, but it was a good weekend because we got the orientation done. If y'all haven't seen that video, go check it out. And August 13th, y'all, August 13th, I will be an empty nester. So I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. But it is what it is. If you're blessed to raise your children up and just shoo them on out into the world, no matter how crazy the world is, you know what I'm saying? Hey, June, how are you? Hey, Joe. Hey, Jessica. Oh, you're moving to Arkansas. Wow. Y'all moving to a house or are you moving to an apartment? And where are you moving from? Hey, how are you? Hey, Effie, how are you? So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it because I do need to go and do my walk, you guys. I didn't exactly eat the healthiest on Saturday, but but I can still see that I'm losing some weight. So it's all good. Treat yourself every now and then. So I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, you rented a house there. Okay. Oh, from Florida. Wow. I hope you guys were okay with all of that rain and flooding. If it wasn't your area that was flooding. Let's get this shared and get into this story. So Japan reports a record spike in potentially deadly bacterial infection. And again, I don't know if this has reached the United States. Maybe it has. Y'all can let me know in the comments if it has. Let's see, let me make it a little bit bigger because your girl eyes is acting up today. So cases of a dangerous and highly fatal bacterial infection has reached record levels in Japan. Official figures show, with experts so far unable to pinpoint the reason for this particular rise. As of June 2nd, Japan's health ministry had 977 cases of streptococcal toxic shock syndrome called STSS, which has a mortality rate of up to 30%. Some 77 people have died so far from this infection between January and March, according to the latest figures. The ongoing outbreak in Japan has already surpassed last year's previous record of 941 infections, the highest since 1999. Japan's National Institute of Infectious Disease reported 97 deaths due to STSS last year, the second highest number of fatalities in the past 6 years. STT is a rare but serious bacterial infection that can develop when bacteria spreads into your tissues, your deep tissue, and your bloodstream. Patients initially suffer from fever, muscle pain, and vomiting, but symptoms can quickly turn life-threatening with low blood pressure, swelling, and multiple organ failures. Organ failure as the body goes into shock. So, y'all, this is serious. Hold on. Even with treatment, STSS can be deadly. Out of 10 people with STSS, as many as 3 people will die of this infection, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Most STSS cases are caused by a group A streptococcal bacteria, which mainly produces fever, throat infections in children, and rare circumstances, strep A can become invasive when bacterium produces a toxin that enables it to gain access to the bloodstream, causing serious illness such as toxic shock. Now, that toxic shock could also lead to a flesh-eating situation, which can lead to loss of limbs. However, most patients who contract this disease have other health factors that may lower their body's ability to fight the infections. That's according to the CDC. Invasive group A strep infections were largely curbed by, C19 controls, and us using those masks. So basically, they honestly are saying that by us using the mask, it weakened our immune system. Kind of like if you don't expose your children to certain things, they're most likely going to get the worst of it. In December of 2022, 5 European countries reported to the World Health Organization an increase in invasive group A streptococcus called IgAS, and children were under 10 years old were the most impacted. The CDC said it was also investigating an apparent increase in the disease at the time. In March, Japanese authorities warned of the jump in STSS cases. Japan's National Institute of Infectious Disease released a risk assessment saying the number of STSS cases caused by IgAS and elemental P has increased since July of 2023. The CDC says older people with open wound are at risk of contracting this STSS, including those who have recently had surgery. That makes me think, though, because my dad just had surgery on his bladder. For those of you who don't know, he had like a few strokes a month or so ago. But he just had bladder surgery last week. And I talked to my brother yesterday who's taking care of him. He was like, he's not doing good, So I don't know what's happening with that. But however, experts don't know how the bacteria got into the body for nearly half of the people who get it. So that's what they need to figure out. The reason for this year's rise in cases of the STSS in Japan remains unclear. Let's see. Professors at the Women's Medical University says that the rise could be due to people's weakened immune systems following COVID. We can boost immunity if we are constantly exposed to bacteria, but the mechanism was absent during the coronavirus pandemic. So more people are now susceptible to infection, and that may be one reason for the sharp rise in the cases. So, hold on, you guys. So I'm going to go to the COVID numbers. Yeah, it is scary because they don't know what's causing it. They don't know, Jim. Like out of all that in that article, they still can't tell us what's causing the increase of it, how fast it's spreading or whatever. Let's see. So, a new COVID variant is dominant in the US. This article is from June 14th. So, this is a recent article. I have not looked into anything COVID or whatever, but I know that there are usually spikes at every season. So, please hit the like button if you have not. Okay, to mask or not mask, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You do what's right for you and your family. Okay, so in recent weeks, a new C19 variant called KP3 has gained dominance in the United States. KP3 is part of a family of mutated strains nicknamed Flirt. I don't know why, but anyway, which are driving an increasing proportion of cases across the country. As KP3 spreads, some of the concerns about potential summer waves. The flirt strains, which include KP3, KP2, and KP11, I was about to say 11, now account for more than half of all C19 infections nationwide, according to the latest data from CDC. These new variants, which scientists dub Flirt after the locations of their spike protein mutations, have been circulating in the US since the early spring. In April, KP2 quickly overtook JN1, the Omicron subvariant that drove the surge in C cases this past winter. I did do a video on that at that time. In a matter of weeks, the KP3 variant overtook KP2 to become the most prevalent strains in the US per the CDC. During a 2-week period ending on June 8th, KP3 made up an estimated 25% of cases in the US, up from 9% in early May. After KP3, the next most common variant is KP2, another Flirt variant that gained dominance in May and now accounts for about 22% of cases. It's followed by LB1, a JN1 subvariant, and another Flirt variant, KP11. It's just also, it's hard to keep up with this stuff. It's so many different variants out here, y'all. Together, the Flirt variants make up an estimated 55% of cases in the US, although hospitalizations are down, they say, and C19 numbers are relatively low. There has been a small uptick in test positivity and emergency room visits. Well, here's the thing. Hospitalization is down, they're saying, and the numbers are relatively low. That's because a lot of people are doing home tests and a lot of people aren't reporting it. I mean, you reported what they want you to do, quarantine or something. So that's why they don't have accurate numbers when it comes to what's going on here in the United States. Let's see. It says these trends, along with previous summer waves, have stoked fears about a surge of infections this summer. Scientists are warning that the Flirt variants may be better at evading the immune system due to their spike protein mutations, and that waning immunity and poor uptake of the latest C19 vaccine have created a more susceptible population. A lot of people are not choosing to get that into their arm. For one, we don't know what's in it. A lot of us were forced to do it to keep our jobs. Even if you didn't want to do it and your job told you you're going to lose your job if you don't keep it, because the VA is one of those places that did that. You were kind of forced to do it because you still got to pay bills. You got to take care of your family. I know my sister she still works for the VA. And they were told that if you don't get it, you're going to lose your job. She got it, and she ended up having to have a stent put in. Okay. I'm not coming up this out of thin air. This is what happened to her. And they still, every time they come out with a, for you to get, they're still telling them you have to get it. So it says, will there be another C19 wave? What are the symptoms of the flirt variant? Are vaccines still effective? And this is what they said. KP3 is one of the flirt variants, along with KP2 and KP11, which are spinoffs of JN1.11.1, a direct descendant of JN.1. They were initially detected in wastewater samples from across the country. So yeah, they are testing the wastewater in every state now. If you didn't know, now you know. KP3 and the other new, and that's how they know if there's an uptick in stuff, because people may not come in to be seen, but they're testing the water so they know. KP3 and the other new variants have additional mutations that set them apart from JN1 and appear to give them an advantage over previous variants. So this doctor from infectious disease physician and professor of public health, excuse me, epidemiology and medicine at Yale is the one that said all of that. The nickname flirt is based on the technical name for their mutations, according to the Infectious Disease Society of America. Just like other C19 strains that have gained dominance in the U.S. over the last year, JN1, HV1, EG5, aka Eris or Eris, and XBB116 or Arcturus, the flirt variants part of the Omicron family. That's just too much. That's just too much. So the emergence of the KP3 and other flirt variants is the same old story, says the virologist at Johns Hopkins Hospital, University. The SARS-CoV-2 virus mutates and gives rise to a new highly contagious variant, which becomes the dominant strain. The timeline that it happens in, 3 to 6 months, is much faster than we see with other viruses like influenza. Is it transmissible? For those of you who want to know, it's still in the early days, they say, but the initial impression is that this variant is rather transmissible. So a professor of infectious disease at Vanderbilt University Medical Center tells Today.com the proportion of cases caused by KP3 is increasing, while the proportion caused by other variants is decreasing, which suggests the flirt variants have features that give it an advantage. Over 97% of people in the U.S. have natural or vaccine-induced antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus, per the CDC, but this immune protection fades over time, meaning you need to keep getting stuck if that's your choice. Low vaccination rates and waning immunity creates a vulnerable population, which may allow the flirt variants to take hold. Only time and more data will tell. So basically, they know that it mutates. They know that it is very transmissible, but they don't know how long in between. Laboratory studies suggest that the flirt variants are mutated enough such that current vaccines and immunity from prior infection will only provide partial protection. And this is because they're saying this to me. They're saying this because they want you to go and get it. And I'm going to say something to that in a minute. We'll have to see how true that is, but it appears over time to be becoming more prominent variant. It's still really early, but I don't think we need to sound the alarm bells as of yet, is what they're saying. Let's see, the state of COVID in the U.S. It's too soon to tell whether the KP3 and the flirt variants will cause a summer wave or a surge. However, it is clear that C19 is still circulating and won't be taking any time off. We're seeing these infections year-round at modulating levels. We're probably not at the stage yet where we'll see C19 go away completely at any time of the year. So this is a 365 day of the year situation. Just some more numbers. So yeah, that's what's happening. They're just kind of repeating themselves. I'm just scanning it, see if it's something in here that I haven't said. Let's see, what are the symptoms? Okay, the symptoms for this flirt variant are sore throat, cough, fatigue, congestion, runny nose, headache, muscle aches, fever or chills, new loss of sense of taste or smell, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea. According to the CDC, the type and severity of symptoms a person experiences usually depends on that person underlying health condition. So everybody's not going to be the same. If they do get it, it depends on their health situation. Similar to JN1 and other Omicron subvariants, the flirt variant seems to be causing milder infections. So that is good to hear. So as the virus mutates, it is becoming progressively different from the Omicron strain targeted in the latest updated booster that's out there now. I have no idea how many boosters they have out there because I have not gotten it. Released in the fall of 2023. We could expect that to happen, and we anticipate the plan is to have an updated vaccine in the fall available to everyone. So I'm going to stop there because I want to say something and see what y'all say. Okay. So we live right now, we're living in a society that we need to be we really need to think for ourselves, honestly. And ask ourselves, when has the government been so willing to help us, give us free stuff? Rather, I should say that way. But they came up with something that was just so groundbreaking that it could protect and save lives across the entire United States and other countries. And all you got to do is take the jab, okay? And it could potentially save your life. That, we don't even know what's in it, first of all. And the fact that they're willing to just give it away, and we are, in my opinion, test dummies, because there have been a lot of things that have taken place when people take that jab. It worked for some people. Some people, like I said with my sister, it did not work. It's not going to keep you from getting it. It may lessen your symptoms if you do get it, but you have to decide for yourself and your health, whether that's for you, whether that's for your children or your elderly parents. That's up to y'all to make that decision. Don't allow anybody to beat you up about whatever decision you come up with. I just, I was one, oh my gosh, we got to get this and we got to get it. And we got it. I've had C19 3 times since then. Me personally, I don't want it anymore. I got those first, 2, and then a booster. I don't know. I got that when it first happened. I said, no, I can't do that, because I really had to think about it. Y'all just had this there because y'all knew this was out there. And that's always the thing. They know in advance. They're working on these things in advance, just like they have chickens stored away in a private site where they're, coming up with antibodies and stuff like that, using those chickens and whatnot. But we really don't know what's in the V that we are all taking so willingly. One, because we may lose our job, or your child can't go to school, or whatever the situation is. I just want y'all to start thinking, do I need to? Should I? Where's my health at right now? Am I more vulnerable? Before just saying, well, they said we need to do this. Question everything. Question this live. Just question everything, because it's your life and you only have one. Sometimes you don't get a do-over. So I'm going to leave it there. Hey, Martin, how are you? Hey, Chosen. Hey, Miss Lady. Okay, you got exemption papers. Hey, the one. Hey, ARG, how are you? Welcome in. So, guys, I got to go because I need to go. Well, I'm going to take the dog out first, but then I'm going to go for my walk. And I will definitely see you in another video today. So, because this is Monday through Friday, I will be doing nothing but news you can use. And then on my weekends, I will, unless it's a breaking story, then you'll see a news story. Otherwise, you'll probably see me just life, the Tommy Bites life part of me. You'll see me out and about or whatever. And I may have to go to visit my dad on Friday and help my brother, but I don't know, to South Carolina. So we shall see how the week plays out with him. But other than that, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for watching my other videos. The ones that not about news, those are just as important because I need to learn to take a break and come back to y'all with a clear mind. And that is my way of doing it. And I will see y'all in the next video. Hey, Barbosa, how are you? Hey, Sierra, y'all take care. What about the bird flu? Well, the bird flu, I did a video on that. If you want to go back to that video and see what I did on that. I don't want to recover the same thing, or I'll try to link it down below once I get off. So I will see y'all. Y'all take care. Remember that I love you, but God loves you more. He created only one you. So be the best you that you can be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love, because God is love. And that is what he will want you to do. And he will want you to live your best life, because we only have one left. Put him first and go with what you go with. Y'all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you later today. Turn your notifications on, subscribe, like, and share.